Hi, Joaquin. There?
Sure.
Hi, there you are. Okay, so today's our fourth session, and we're going to be practicing task 2, which is the one that we were looking at yesterday. So it should be fresh. Remember that in this task, you will first read a short campus announcement in which you find a change and 2 reasons. And then you will listen to the conversation where 2 students are going to be talking about it, and they'll give you other 2 reasons why they are in favor or against this change. So you got to pay attention for those 4 reasons and then summarize everything in your response, right? Remember how this was? So it's what we saw yesterday. Any questions before we start? Okay, then. So let's get to it. This is the first reading, the first task. Here's the reading. Remember, you got 50 seconds to read. Okay. Now, let's listen to the conversation.
Now listen to 2 students discussing the article.
Everything all right?
Yeah, I'm just upset about that article I showed you this morning.
Why? What's the big deal?
Well, as an art major, the university's got it all wrong.
What do you mean?
Well, the low enrollment isn't because art majors don't want to take these classes. Problem is, who has time to take them when there are so many other requirements?
I don't understand.
See, the classes they're eliminating are all optional. The required courses are mostly painting and drawing, and they take up all our time. What we really need are different requirements. Then art majors could take a variety of classes, all the things we're interested in.
That makes sense. But the thing about the professor...
Well, that's true. But still, they're being drastic. If money's the problem, they could hire a part-time professor. Or most of the professors in the department have secondary fields.
Really?
Yeah. At least a few painting teachers are also great sculptors. I'm sure one of them could teach a class.
The woman expresses her opinion of the university's plan. State her opinion and explain the reasons she gives for holding that opinion.
Now, you got 30 seconds to prepare your response. Okay. So please, if you're ready, you can start speaking now.
Okay. The university decided that the sculpture program be eliminated for the art department because don't, because the sculpture program don't take the attention of the students, and the teacher will be retrained in this year. Um, she thinks that the other teachers of the art department has to be a second stand. Also, that's the opinion of the student.
Okay, great. So the summarizing of the reading was awesome, but then you kind of got stuck for the listening, right? You do remember what they mentioned? Do you know what they were saying or what the girl was saying in the conversation?
Teacher, in the listening, my internet was wrong, and
Oh my God.
I can listen the first argument I used.
But you should have told me. You should have told me. I could have played it again for you. For next time, just tell me. It's okay. I can play it again. Now, so I think it was good. You know, I mean, so far it was good. Now, of course, you were missing relevant information, but that's okay. So at the beginning, summarize it more. You took 30 seconds for the intro, and you would have maybe run out of time in case you got to say the whole thing. And be careful with this. So at the beginning, you said at the university decide. So you could say the university has decided to, or decided to. One of these two, you know, if it's applied. Make sure that you emphasize the ED pronunciation whenever you have a past. So the university has decided to, so you don't say decide. And careful with the tenses as well, because like, you know, since these are future plans, you usually have to use the will or the would. So the university has decided that, or instead of to, you could also say that, what's this? The university has decided that the sculpture classes will be eliminated. So in the past, right? Or in the future, sorry. So I decided that this will be eliminated or would be eliminated. Okay, so careful with that. And careful with the third person, right? So other teachers have to, I don't know, teach the class. So careful with that grammar. Okay, let's do one more. We're gonna have one more chance. So let's look at this one. Here's the reading again, 50 seconds. I'm so sorry, it was my connection this time. I'll play it again. So here's the conversation.
To two students.
Teacher, I can't listen anything.
Students who are trying to
You're not listening to anything? Oh my God, yeah. I'm sorry I wasn't sharing the sound. Let's go again. Sorry for that.
Listen to two students discussing the college's plan.
The college is making a mistake with this new plan.
What do you mean? I think it'll really help accomplish the college's goals.
Don't be so sure. All that construction for 2 years, it's going to create a lot of noise.
Well, you mean in the beginning, for students still living in the dorms.
Yeah, students who are trying to sleep or do work are constantly going to be disturbed. So people will try to get as far away as possible, probably by moving off campus. So they'll lose even more people.
Huh, I hadn't thought of that. But still, once all the construction's over, more people will probably want to live in the dorms, right? I mean, the living conditions will be so much better.
If they can afford to. Do you know how the college is planning on paying for this plan? By raising the cost of campus housing.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so if it's more expensive, why would people want to move back into the dorms if they can rent an apartment for less money?
The woman expresses her opinion about the college's plan. State her opinion and explain the reasons she gives for holding that opinion.
Okay. So now you got 30 seconds to prepare. Okay. So please start speaking now.
Okay, the university decides to. The university decides that the rooms of the campus housing must be renovated into 2 years, because the rooms aren't in great shape, and are in great shape, and the students decide to be in other places. She thinks that it's a great mistake because the rooms will be more expensive for the students, and there will be take a lot of time.
Okay. All right. So the last part was kind of summarized, but it's okay. Remember the proportion though, it is always more important to talk about the student than it is to talk about the university. So you want to keep it that way. Now, one thing I could say to you is at the beginning, try not to mention the reasons anymore, because I think you're struggling a bit with time. So just tell me what the change is and forget about the reasons that the university gives. So the university has decided to, or decides to, is also good. So because you're, conjugating it, so it's good. So the university has decided to, or has decided that the housing must be renovated. Careful there with the modal verbs, right? Must be renovated instead of must to be renovated, or have to be, you could say. So must be renovated, and forget about the details, like in 2 years or within a period of 2 years, forget about that. So the university has decided that the housing must be renovated, right? And that's it. And then don't forget to forget about the reasons here, and don't forget to add the transition, like on the other hand, or meanwhile, the student doesn't like this idea. So don't forget that transition, you're forgetting it. And then you focus on why, so you could say first, she states that this will take a lot of time and it will create a lot of noise and this will bother students. And secondly, she also mentions that, I don't know, it's actually going to be more expensive for students, so they won't want to go back to campus anymore if they can rent an apartment for a cheaper price. Okay, so forget about the reasons at the beginning. Don't forget the transition. And yeah. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
All right, Arki. So see, any questions?
No. I have to tell you, teacher. I think that my sister is the next, but she not arriving to my house.
Okay.
So they told me that if she will take the turn of 9:45.
9:45. Yeah, of course. Yeah, she can join at that time. That's okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna write it down here. So no worries, it's okay.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Bye bye. Take care.